Let's review what we learned in 10.7. So what I need you to do first is to shut off the video, and for each one of these, solve for x. Show all your work so that when we go over it later, if you have any questions or have any that you didn't understand, you'll be able to see where your steps differ from my steps. So just pause the video right now and solve for x. So hopefully by now you've been able to solve for all 5 of these. I'm going to go through all 5 of them and show the answers and how they're solved. So for number 1, whenever we have 2 chords that meet inside the circle, we're going to multiply a cross product basically. So 9x equals 3 times 6. Well, 3 times 6 is 18. Divide both sides by 9. And so we get x equals 2. And we could plug that in and see that it would work. We would have, this would be 2, so we would have 2 times 9 and 3 times 6, and they both equal 18. On number 2, same exact process. 4 times 6 equals 8 times x. So that's 8x. 24 equals 8x. Divide both sides by 8. And we would get x equals 3. So if we plug that in, there's 3. So then if we do 3 times 8, that's 24. Now if we do these two, 4 times 6, that's 24. So that checks out. Number 3 is not 2 chords inside, it's 2 secant segments. So what we have to do with those, if we have to multiply the outside times the whole thing. And the whole thing is not 18x, it's 18 plus x. Now on the other side, the outside is 8, but the whole thing is 18. So if we multiply this in, we'll have 18x plus x squared equals 144. To solve this one, we're going to need to put everything together on one side. X squared plus 18x minus 144 equals 0. We could use the quadratic formula. You're familiar with that. Or, in this case, it'd probably be easier just to factor it. We need 2 factors that multiplied together give us negative 144, but if they're added together, they give us positive 18. And those 2 factors are negative 6 and 24. So we're going to have x minus 6 and x plus 24. Because if we multiply negative 6 times positive 24, we'll get the negative 144. And if we add them together, we get the positive 18. Well, that means that either x equals 6 or x equals negative 24. But if you look at the problem, there's no way it could equal negative 24. So this part doesn't work, which means x equals 6. So if I put this out here, we've got 6 times the whole thing, which is 24. And then we have 8, so you have 6 times 24. And does that equal 8 times 18? And so 6 times 24 is 144. 8 times 18 is 144, so it does work. For number 4, again, the exact same process. Outside times the whole thing. This whole thing is not 3 times 5, it's 3 plus 5, so it's 8. Outside times the whole thing, which is 2 plus x. So that means 24 equals 4 plus 2x. Subtracting, we get 20 equals 2x. So then x equals 10. So if we put that here, then basically we'd be doing 3 times 8, and that equals 24. And on this end, we would be doing 2 times 12, because the whole thing is 12, and that would also equal 24. So that checks out. On number 5, that one has a tangent segment. So with a tangent segment, you can still think of the same process. The outside times the whole thing. They just both happen to be the same size. Equals, again, the outside times the whole thing. The whole thing is not 3x, it's 3 plus x. So we have 64 equals 9 plus 3x. If we subtract 9 from both sides, we get 55 equals 3x. Divide both sides by 3. So x equals 55 over 3, which 55 is not divisible by 3. We could change it to a mixed number. It would be 18 and 1/3. So either one of those would technically be okay. And so I hope that you were able to solve these. If not, I hope you can see where your error might have been, and let me know if you have any questions.